Hello there, my name is ChrisTenarium. Today I'm playing Jisei, or Jisei, or Jisei. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure I know how to pronounce that name, but nevertheless, this is a game by Sake Visual. I've only really played one of their games on my channel before, that being Realister. That was good, but basically, short story is they don't answer their emails too often. I'm sure why. Well, because they get a lot of emails, I imagine. So it took me a while to get to contact them, but finally, I'm playing their games. I should have done this ages ago. But yes, for those that don't know what Jisei is, or Sake Visual for that matter, and if you don't, you know, there is a link to their website in the description below. You can check them out there, because you'd be crazy to not know them if you're into visual novels by now. This is a supernatural murder mystery. What does that mean? Well, I'm hoping it's nothing like Beyond Two Souls, where everything is so crazily cliche. But for those who don't know anything about anything, and are just here for me, well, first I thank you, and second of all, let's continue and crack on. Whoever said that your life flashes before your eyes when you die should be shot. Well, I imagine this person said something very similar. Then maybe he'd see what it's really like. When you die, there are only two things. The first is the sudden and terrifying realization that you are dying. Yeah, that's generally grim. The second is the final wish. As a person dies, there is always one last thing they would wish for they could do before they pass on. Like it not be painful? I mean, what can you really wish for? But at that point, what can you really wish for? It's like when they say, oh, well, you know, the life does flash in the eyes. How do you test that? Do you just shoot somebody and be like, what are you thinking, what are you thinking, what are you thinking? He's not speaking, sir, he's dying. Get it out of him, Jenkins! Where can you really go with that? Come on. Oh, well. Sometimes it's as simple as wanting to say goodbye to a loved one, but usually it's a wish full of pain and regret. I suppose I'd just kind of shout, I love you, bro. I mean, it's probably not too much more I'd do. It's a wish for a life lived better, an angry word taken back, or a promise kept, a wish that will never be granted. Yeah, death sucks. Every single time. But I've experienced so many, I'm kind of numb to the whole thing by now. Experienced so many deaths? Oh, sod. That's not to say I'm comfortable with it, I'm just used to it. Oh, okay then. It's a bit like anal. After all, experiencing death is the story of my life. Well, this is definitely fitting in with the Halloween theme. Where am I? You are in a cafe. A very neatly drawn cafe at that. With a rather odd painting there. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. Elegant woman drinking tea despite not having any fingers through a mug? Oh, God knows. I blinked slowly, trying to get my bearings. This place doesn't look familiar. It's in English, so suddenly we know we're not in Japan. We're probably in America. Then again, it's been 3 years since anything has looked familiar to me. But why are you surprised, what? I yawn as my mind slowly clears. The room I'm in is filled with the scent of freshly ground coffee. I hear something. A machine? Steam? Right. I'm in a coffee shop in some city called Edgewater. It's my second day in the city. Just a quick note, isn't that music beautiful? What's not to like about that music? Judging from the empty cup on the table in front of me, I stopped here for a coffee because I was getting sleepy. And then I fell asleep. Typical. I guess even a triple shot mocha latte isn't enough to keep me up these days. I don't know what any of that means. I don't do tea or coffee. It's bad for you. Ha ha ha! As if. I wonder if I should get another one. Why not? YOLO! I head over to the counter. No one else is in the line since it's still afternoon. Wait, do people not drink tea or coffee in the afternoon? Like, it's 11:59, perfectly fine, but as soon as it hits 12, it's like, no, pour that down the sink. No, you know the rules. It's 11:59 or nothing at all. Oh dear, the girl at the counter grins as soon as she sees me.
Did you have a nice nap?
Oh, I certainly did. Something else I'm also going to have to turn off is that voice acting, although that's actually quite nice. It might be a nice nap if you're playing it, like a nice little extra if you're playing it by yourself. but unfortunately, since I'm doing most of the reading, having voices do it for me would really defeat the purpose. Yes, I did have a nice nap. You saw me? Do I not have a hairline? Is everything like... I can't quite tell what it is, but his hair doesn't quite look right. I'm sure I'll see what it is. You saw me? Well, you are probably the only one in the shop.
Don't worry, you weren't snoring or anything.
Okay, so that voice is still going on. Right. Is there any way we can mute that? Are we going to have to get rid of sound as well? Well, we didn't need sound anyway, it's fine. We'll also put this up a little bit. Don't worry, you weren't snoring or anything, but I'd wipe that drool off your face if I were you. What?
I'm kidding.
I'm kidding. You're fine. Oh, wonderful. So the voice isn't, you know, disabling. So we're going to have to go back and find out how. Hang on a second. Right, well, I'm not sure what I've done, but there's now no voices. At least you can tell it's adequately voice acted. It's a nice little extra. She laughs and winks at me. So, what can I get for you? I have apparently died. That's not too handy. Whoa, are you okay? Does it look like I'm okay? I'm probably passing out on the counter now. I said this before, but it's like in school. You could easily just have most of your finger chopped off. It'll be hanging off, and the teacher will always come up to you and be like, "Are you okay? Do I look okay? No!" Oh well. Yeah. You look like you want to hurl. Why am I feeling this now? There shouldn't be any reason. Hey, if you're not feeling well, the bathrooms are down that hallway. Yeah, thanks. I grab the counter for support and stumble off in the direction she's pointing. My head is hurting even more now. If I'm feeling this sick, it can only mean one thing. Someone has died. Oh, God. So he gets ill every time someone dies? That's going to be a bit of a problem considering how many people there are in the world. I assume he means near to him. As I walk down the hallway, I see the door to the women's bathroom is wide open. You're kidding. I wish this were a joke, but the incessant throbbing in my head tells me otherwise. Lying on the tiled floor of the women's bathroom is the corpse of a woman. I enter the restroom, gagging at the smell of the restroom's flowery perfume and disinfectant. So, not the fact that someone's died or, you know, the smell might be coming up, blood and stuff. Nothing like that. But he gags at the smell of perfume. Aha. Well, she's quite dead by the looks of it. The knife sticking out of her chest doesn't make me terribly optimistic about what I'm about to do next. I hope she died quickly, otherwise this is going to end up very unpleasant. I glance around to make sure no one is looking before I reach forward and touch her arm. Oh, come on. We all know that waitress is probably going to poke her head round the door and be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And then, like, Metal Gear Solid, yeah. I brace myself with a sudden pain in my chest, but it never comes. I can't breathe. I try to open my mouth, but it refuses to open. Something's on my face. I want to tear it away, but someone is holding me down. I'm going to die, I'm going to die. I only wish that... As I open... yeah, I see what they did there with the wish. I instinctively gasp for air. I know I wasn't actually suffocating, but it's still a reflex. My brain always remembers the pain of every death I experience, even though none of them are mine. I'm suddenly aware of someone staring at me from the hallway. What did you do? A woman is standing behind me, staring in horror at the dead body lying on the restroom floor. I didn't... Wait! Yeah, you always knew someone was going to come. You're not going to be able to do something like that without closing the door. Well, I suppose it was a woman's bathroom. I mean, she's perfectly entitled to just walk in, but you're not going to be able to do something like that without someone walking in and being like, "Hey, you murdered that person!" Because I'll be like, well, soz, kinda did. Oh, I sigh and hang my head. This isn't going to end well. Then again, it never does. Hey kid, move away from the body. A man strides briskly down the hallway towards me. His voice and demeanour are sharp, fluid and commanding. Yeah, well, it's either that or chicken out. Even without the uniform, it's obviously some sort of man of the law. Considering what he's wearing, I'd guess police officer. Well, because he's blue and got stars on his collar? Yeah, I'd guess that as well. Sorry, officer, I promise I didn't move anything. He looks surprised. Officer? Oh, you're not... Sorry, my dad was a police officer and you look kind of like him. I mean, you carry yourself the same way. Your dad was an officer? Which precinct? Oh. I hope that wasn't a lie. He sounds skeptical, I guess I can't blame him. I don't remember, it was a while back when we lived in Los Angeles. Looking to the side like that is not going to convince anyone. He raises a knowing eyebrow, as if he's just caught me in a lie, but he doesn't comment on it. I see. Well, why don't you come with me? Sure. I follow the officer back into the main area of the shop. The woman who first saw me is standing by one of the tables looking shaken. Well, it's kind of expected. She just seems almost die. The only other people in the shop are the girl who works here and a guy who looks like he's in college. A guy? Really? Really? Alright, we're just gonna have to roll with that, really. Excuse me, everyone. I'd like your attention for a moment. I am Detective Mikolaj Gursky. Well, we can rule out being in America. We're probably in Canada with a name like that. The detective pauses for a moment. It looks like he's trying to choose his words carefully. He's going to point me and go, "You're apprehended!" Something like that. Unfortunately, a dead body has just been discovered on the premises. What? What? But how? I mean, who? College boy. Whatever. Unfortunately, I don't know anything about the situation yet. Because of this, I'm going to have to ask you all to stay here until the police come. Until they come? You mean the police aren't here yet? What about you? I'm technically not on duty right now. I just happen to be here. The police don't react that quickly. It's like you get random people just like, something was wrong the other day and the police took 10 minutes to arrive. Of course they did. They can't just be, I can't suppose, they are at your beck and call, but they can't come, within a flash. Oh well. I see. If you don't mind, I'd like to speak with each of you separately for just a little bit. It'll help move the investigation along if I can start collecting information now. Is that okay? Sure, anything to help? Yeah, it's okay with me. Yes, it's fine. And then me? What about you, kid? It's fine with me. No, you had to pause a little bit. Bring up the sort of atmosphere. Just a tad. Not, yeah, it's fine with me. Whatever, boy. This looks odd. Right, then we'll start with you. Come with me, please. Detective Gursky motions for me to follow him to the hallway away from the rest of the coffee shop. As we walk down the hallway, I can't help but stare at the body in the bathroom. Detective Gursky glances at me and gently kicks the door of the bathroom. It swings in and bounces gently off the wall, closing with a soft thud. Oh, okay, I see what it means. He didn't kick it open, he kicked it closed. How are you feeling? Fine, I guess. Why are you being such a dick? Just reply with something a little more grief-stricken than, "You've just seen a dead body, how are you?" Okay, man, that's gonna look weird. Well, you just saw a dead body and you're fine? He frowns at me. Never mind, let's just start with your name. I'd rather not say. Yeah, fuck it. Just get on the ground now and ask him to put the handcuffs on you. Why not? Because I'd rather not. An officer of the law is asking you a question. Then I plead the Fifth. The Fifth Amendment is only applicable to testifying under oath in a court of law or other tribunal. Then I invoke my Miranda rights. Detective Gursky stares at me impassively. It's hard to tell what he's thinking, but I doubt he's pleased. Fine, no name then. Why don't you tell me what happened today? You mean about when I found the body? Anything you think is pertinent. He's accusing you of being a murderer. Don't be a dick. Well, I came in here around noon today. I ordered a coffee, drank it, then fell asleep. You fell asleep after you drank a whole triple shot mocha latte? How did you know what it was? Fucking hell. It's like Sherlock Holmes here. Ah, seeing is not observing, my fellow Holmes. He probably said something like that at some point. How'd you know what I drank? Detective Gursky nods at the empty cup on the table where I was sleeping. Saw you snoozing when I came in. Yeah, exactly. Seeing is observing, dear Watson. There we are, Watson, that's what I wanted. The mocha latte checkbox is checked off on the side of the cup, and the maroon sleeve around the cup is only used for triple shots. I am a detective, you know. What an awkward thing to remember. When does that ever come in handy? And a serious one at that. He's even reading my drinks when he's off duty. Well, I woke up 10 minutes ago, I guess. Maybe less. Gursky glances at the clock on the wall. So around 2:40, you'd say. I guess so. I was just about to get another drink when I suddenly started to feel sick. Yes, I did see you looking a little ill when you were at the counter. The girl at the counter told me I should go to the bathroom, and when I went, I saw the body lying there. What are you doing in the women's bathroom? The door was already open. I saw her from the hallway. Did you touch her? Whoa, let's not go down this route. I'm not sure I like where touching dead bodies is going. Even if I say no, they'll probably find my prints on her anyway. Yes. And why were you touching her? I wanted to see if she was okay. I didn't know she was dead at the time. The detective nods understandingly, but I doubt he believes me. Any idiot could have seen the knife in a woman's chest from at least 10 feet away. Is there anything else you'd like to say? Just say you were shocked. If you're already thinking that, say that you're shocked. I know, alright? I sound like a serial killer. I know exactly what to say as soon as the policeman's asking me. But if he's thought of something like that, just deal with it. Just be like, well, I doubt he believes me. Just say, I was in shock. I went down, I didn't know what to do. It's the first time I'd ever seen a dead body before. Whatever. Is there anything else you'd like to say? I think there's something suspicious about this death. Not really. There's something weird about all of this, but I should keep to myself for now. We've lied to this guy enough. I feel if we say, oh, not really, it'd be weird. Douche. I think there's something suspicious about this death. There's a dead woman with a knife in her chest. Suspicious goes without saying. No, he didn't mean that. What makes you think this is suspicious? Just a gut feeling. I see. Anything else? No. That's all you're going to say? I thought it was going to lead to something. Oh my god. I'm so fucked.